guys, it's Falling Moon here, and today I decided to redesign an old character of mine, but I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm going to sound a bit strange, and that's because I have allergies, so, 'tis the season. And anyways, so I got a lot of old images I had, and I circled the things that I thought were weird about the character design that I had done for them. And the last one I went through a weird furry phase, so that's the thing. And for the last one, it was the one that I thought was pretty good. It had some weird things about it, like the chest, the hand and the tail, and the others that maybe certain things about their faces or their necks. So I thought that the first thing I think I was trying to get across here, the first thing I wanted for this redesign of the character was I wanted her to be sort of slim. Not too slim, but I wanted her to be kind of slim. I didn't want her to be muscular or real thick or anything. I wanted her to just kind of be kind of thinner, because it's how she kind of looks in a lot of these pictures. So, yeah. She also has a bit of a sort of, I don't know how to explain it. She has a bigger head with a bit of a wider jaw, so I wanted to be sure to incorporate that with how I drew her head. I also wanted her to didn't have very big shoulders, because again, she doesn't look very big in the images. She looks kind of slight, so I wanted her to be slight, obviously. Of course, I guess, it's a character redesign, so you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you just redraw her differently? Well, that's because I can't really think of anything for her. I'm just gonna kind of just pull things off of the original ideas I had for her and see what I like and use it. That's kind of the thing. So that's what I'm kind of doing. I'm adding certain elements that were not there maybe before, because either it was because they just weren't there before because I didn't know how to draw them or whatever, or because I hadn't thought about it when I was younger. So yeah, I was kind of debating on what pose I was going to have her in, and then I eventually decided that I would have her with her hands together, and I was struggling to make it work for some reason. It was just a struggle day, I guess. I don't know. It was just the day of struggle anyways. So I eventually got there though, but it took me so long. I don't know why it took me so long, but it did. Eventually I got there though. Slowly but surely. So I wanted her hands to kind of be together, which you'll see in a minute. Eventually I did erase just the whole thing and just redid it. Excuse me. Because it was just horrendous and I could not figure out how to make the elbows and everything work. Eventually I did get it, but, it took a while. And because the torso was being weird. Eventually, though, I did end up getting it, and I decided that I wanted her to have her arms together eventually, but, I didn't draw that first. And for her chest, I wanted her not to be too big or too small. I wanted it to be kind of in the middle, because in some of them she looked more flatter, and the last one she looked like a bit bigger there. So I wanted her to kind of be in the middle, to meet in the middle of that. And I struggled with the hands for a bit, and then eventually I did get it. It just took me a hot minute, so bear with me. As always, hands are just difficult. So I was trying not to make her hips too thick, but I didn't want her to be super tiny either. I wanted to meet in the middle, kind of. That's kind of what I was trying to do with this character. I was kind of trying to meet in the middle with it. So I also started beginning to struggle with the arms. I thought they looked weird and they weren't proportionate. And, oh my goodness, I think I just ended up erasing the whole thing, maybe. I don't remember if I erased the whole thing or if I just redid the arms. Well, we'll see. So I think I just redid the arms, but I could be wrong. And the one thing that is always difficult for me, I guess, is the torso and the arms has always been a struggle for me. as a person. I don't know, or artist. As an artist, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But yeah. So I just me taking 5 to 10 minutes on the torso and the arms. But anyways, I thought I might explain some other things in the video. A lot of the things in this video got glitched and things, so if it's weird and messy, I'm very sorry. My technology that I have is horrid. Maybe not horrid, but I'm not very good with technology, as you can tell. Or maybe you haven't been able to tell, in which case, good thing I'm putting on a good acting thing, or whatever. Putting on a good face mask then. Because if you haven't noticed, then that's good, because and if you have, I can see why I'm horrid with technology, if you didn't know, so. Yeah. Then I began to draw boots with her, and then I decided against it. And I decided that I wanted her to have sort of these kind of Converse kind of things, but they're hiked up to closer to your knee. Oh, sorry for that. And, because I've seen a lot of girls who are more thin wear those, so I thought maybe that would be a good idea. I also gave her a skirt because there's only one image that shows her with the bottom half of her, and it shows her in a skirt, and I thought that's a good idea, because, you know, I had to. So, yeah. And then I decided that I would look at the necks and look at the things that I put on their necks and for their shirts and everything. I decided to give her a choker like the first one because I thought it was an interesting and cute idea. And then for the second picture, I gave her a V-neck, and I also gave her the striped shirt because I thought the striped shirt was really cute. I like that striped shirt. So I also ended up giving her little cuffs on the sleeves, even though that was not an original thing. Then again, I don't know if you can really tell if there's anything there anymore at that point because of how it's drawn, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyways, so I ended up fixing the hand too, because of course. And then another thing, I decided I would start drawing the hair, because of course she needs hair. So I was looking at the hair that I had for them, and I decided I want her to have long hair and sort of drape it over her face a little bit. Not too much to the point where it would cover her face completely like the last one. I want similar, so that way it wouldn't completely cover her face, so you could see the other red eye, because I thought that was cool. And maybe I can show that in my drawings still. So I eventually did that, and that's what I went with. And then I realized she has fox ears. So I decided to incorporate that by giving her a headband with fox ears on it. You know, because I didn't want her to be a furry or anything. I just wanted her to be a human, so. Or furry or an anthropomorphic animal or anything. She's just supposed to be a human, so. Just an ordinary, just basic human. Anything special really. Just she has fox ears, so she's probably a weeb or something. An anime fan or something like that. But anyways, so for her eyes, I wanted to make them round, kind of. I didn't do as well with it. I kind of felt a little bit, I was okay with the eyes, the way I drew them. I just want the way I color eyes. I don't really like that as much. But it's fine. So, I also was trying to get the roundness of it so she looked a bit unique, you know? Like in the last picture. I also added the same eyelash that I gave her in the last picture. That would also distinguish her from a lot of my other characters as well. So I knew that would be a good choice for her. And also because the other eyes were kind of weak. The other eyes were kind of weird. So I didn't want her to look super weird or anything. And I thought that was the best option because I was really proud of those eyes on the last image. I still think they look kind of interesting. They're a little freakishly round though, but I mean, that was a little bit more of a chibi-ish looking thing there, so not really chibi-ish. And then I started drawing the nose, and then I realized, wait, I should probably look back on my references And from there, I decided I noticed she had a really, really small nose, so I incorporated that. She also had really thin eyebrows and a smaller mouth, so I incorporated those things. So I gave her a little small nose and a mouth that looked kind of like a sad expression because I wanted her to look sort of confused or lost. That's the look I wanted for her, and I think I nailed it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's up to opinion. So I didn't want to make her eyebrows too thin, though, because I feel like that'd be kind of unnatural. So I wanted to make it look where it's at least believable enough. I mean, there could be someone who has thinner eyebrows, I don't know. But more, I highly doubt it that they have him that thin, but unless they did something to him to make him that way, but yeah. So I decided maybe I could put the oozing stuff like in the second image. I eventually did decide against this, and this is where it glitched, guys. So yeah, I just ended up not doing it. And you'll see later that there are certain decisions I made where I decided against it later on. And here in a minute it'll go back, and then it glitched again for me, which is something I absolutely hate. I hate this. It's horrible because it glitches all the time. So yeah. And then I had to clean up the lines, of course, you know. Eventually did forget a few things about the design and everything and tried to go back and fix it. But anyways, so I also added some detail to the fabrics of her clothing because I didn't want it to look completely flat and not look like cloth. It doesn't still really look much like a cloth, but I'm not very good at this, as you can tell. I'm still learning, so, you know, that's just part of life, learning. And I've told some people before, well, it's part of art, is you're never done progressing, and they said that's depressing. But anyways, so I've, I don't know what to talk about, oh my goodness. This is the problem with me doing voiceover videos. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. As you can clearly tell, I don't have good enough technology, and I'm also not, I guess, a talkative enough person, and I'm very bad at communicating. So I decided to pull, this is where the coloring came in. I decided to pull the color sample from the first one, and I colored it that way. Then I colored her hair purple, because, you know, that's the color it was. And I colored her eyes green and red. And I also colored her ears purple, and I colored her shoes purple, because I thought that matched. I also gave her black and white sweater, and I also made her skirt red, because I thought it would match the colors. And then I realized the background from the first one didn't work right. And here's the image! Yay! Because I ended up changing the stars.